But when it was happening, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. I don't want to go to school now. I just turned 18, I think. And I fought a 31-year-old. And back then, I was like, oh, my God.
I feel even more nervous, didn't it, when you've got everyone around you going, are you sure?
Yeah, literally. Just had to spoil the lads. Like, I just had literally... He'd come in the ring with me and he'd be like, I'm going to give you a nosebleed today. The thing is with me, right, I would fight all of them, but that's why I've got a manager to protect me from myself. Yeah. Tell me I'm not going to box again and I'll do it just to prove you. Like, if I can inspire someone else to do it because I'm doing it and just jump out of the comfort zone and ready to fully focus, and next year I'm going for that title and I'm going to win it. Like, I think that just keeps me, like, it will pay off. It will all pay off, like, and I will be in a better position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you good?
Let's do it, yeah, man.
Hello and welcome to Fijian and Ginge. I'm your host, Fijian.
I'm the co-host of Ginge.
We got 2-0, Tysie Gallagher, soon to be 3-0, Tysie Gallagher. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm all good, yeah, good, thanks.
Big fight on the 26th of February?
Yeah, 26th.
Do you know your opponent or anything yet?
Now I do, yeah. Last week I got an opponent, so... She's experienced. Her name's Claudia Ferenzi or something. She's experienced. She had about 116 fights, so...
116?
Yeah.
How do you get a date?
She's been in there, like...
What?
How do you get a date without knowing the fighter? Is that how it works? I thought you would have, like, got the fighter and then they organise a date.
Nah, so, like, on our debut, like... We got an opponent a week before.
Really?
Yeah.
So you didn't know him?
Like, we had an opponent, they pull out, something happens, and then you're stressing. You're literally stressing. But and then, like, so on my debut, it was a week before, then they someone come through, so it was like...
Does that mess with the preparation and stuff like that? Like, does that...
I tried just not, because everyone in the gym was like, this is normal, because obviously I'm new to the pros. Like, I didn't know, like, but... Yeah, they're like, this is normal, it's fine. Yeah. You'll have a fight, even if on the day they'll get your fighter, and it's like, I just trusted it. And but
the thing is, you could end up going in there with any, really, like, all kinds. You won't even know who you're up against. You could end up coming against someone...
I do trust, though, like, Tony wouldn't just...
Try and fuck you over. Yeah.
I do trust.
I get confused with Tony. I was going through Instagram and I was looking, is he your coach or your management, or is he both?
Both.
Yeah, because when... Because I was looking at him, I was thinking in some photos he was like with you, he's like coaching, and in other photos he's like the management. I was thinking, surely he doesn't do both. So
no,
he does
both.
Both. Does that work out better though?
I find it
because he has your best interest, like with going into the fight, obviously, because he's training you. You don't want his fighter to go in there and get hurt or whatever,
exactly.
Does he?
Like, I find it does. Like he literally knows me the best that anyone else does in boxing, obviously. So I find it helps massively. A lot of other people say they wouldn't mix it, but he's got my best interest and he trains me and like, do you know what I mean?
If it works, it works.
Yeah. It's
don't fix what's not broken.
Definitely.
And he's not going to just try and rush you in, I suppose.
No, exactly. And just he's trying to build me up to get to where I want to get to. So
hopefully big 3-0 coming soon then.
Yeah.
I think there will be, yeah.
Started boxing, we'll go to the beginning, when you were 11. Who got you involved in boxing? Like, how did it all start?
Well, it was random. Like, my mum, she was part of a gym in Luton, and there was like boxing classes and whatnot. And
like fitness boxing classes or actual,
there was actual
boxing classes, not box fit or anything like that.
No, it was boxing, and I was always quite sporty, and I was just one of them crazy kids, like, just crazy, literally like the class clown, and in and out of trouble a little bit, like not bad trouble, it was just being stupid. Like.
Yeah.
And then she was like, let me get her into that. But she actually took my brother, like mainly my brother. But he lasted like 2 weeks and I just carried on. The first day I went in there, it was actually the first person who showed me how to stand, how to punch was K Prosper. He was the coach like of the... so obviously I didn't really know much of him back then, but yeah, just stuck with it. But,
and he's another professional out of Luton as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So he... so I just stuck with it, and then I kind of... The first few sessions, it was like I didn't have to try too much, and I already was picking it up quick. Like, it wasn't like I just was absolutely useless at it.
Do you think you're like naturally gifted?
Yeah, like not to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like, I picked things up quick, and anything I was being taught, I was only had to be told a couple times, and I could do it. from then I just really enjoyed it, and then
Loved it.
just went from there.
So when did you have your first fight after that then? Like
So from then, that gym didn't actually really like the idea of girls fighting.
Did they not?
So like
Controversy.
yeah, so
throw Luton in the mud, Luton down under.
No, there's a few stories from when I was young, like around that age. So that gym, they didn't mind me training. I was sparring. I was getting in with the lads, and just because there was no other girls, I was always the only girl in the gym. And then so when it come to fighting, they were just putting it off.
Yeah.
Wouldn't get me carded and that. So I tried a few other gyms. Went to another gym. They wouldn't let me even step foot in the gym, because I was a girl.
What? They just would like
There was
no females.
No girls,
yeah,
so old school. He was an older guy, and
What year was this? Sorry to interrupt.
This was I must have been in
1960.
Yeah, literally. This was 2009. 2009. Yeah. So
You can't
then-
step foot in the gym.
That is like some 1960
That is, it
shit.
is.
like no women in the gym. Like, I was like, oh, all right. So I found like the academy Luton, and I went straight. They had me straight in there, and started. Probably had my fight like a year after that. So I think I was in year 7. Yeah, I was in year 7. So like 2009, 2010, and then went on from there, competing into championships and whatnot. So, and then obviously, just
Obviously, you come from a fighting family anyway, because your cousin, we had him on last week. Well, it won't be last week now because this will be season 2. It's all confusing. But and he was saying the same thing to us after off camera. Obviously, he was young when he started.
Yeah,
You were young. So did you ever train or anything like that? Or
yeah.
was it, or
So
is it...
he used to go like kickboxing and Thai boxing, and I'd go for the odd session and that. But yeah, it's random how it happened.
Yeah.
I also have a cousin in Scotland who's like wicked. I don't really know him that well, but he's like second cousin, and he's like in the GB squad and everything.
Yeah.
Like boxer, like doing really well, like achieved so much. He'll probably turn pro soon. But I didn't know him until like I was boxing, and then I was like, my mum actually like noticed it that he was on the GB squad and stuff. So yeah, there's a few of us that obviously do.
It must runs in the family.
Yeah,
then.
literally. But like no one past our generations. Like my dad, my mum, like no one really was into it. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the junior ABAs, so you won that in 2013.
Yeah.
So was that close after you just started?
Good few. It was probably about 3 or 4 years into it. I must have been about year 9 by then, or year 8, year 9. Yeah, so a good few years. But that was unreal. I couldn't believe it. Like going into them championships, I didn't really think much of it. But then when I won it, and you get all like presented with the golden gloves, I was taking it into school with my assembly and everything. Like,
Presentation.
Yeah.
Is it show and tell?
Yeah, literally. Like,
Show and tell, man. Fucking hell.
But
Those
yeah,
were the days.
so that was my first ever championships.
Was you like one of the favourites to win it or anything like that? Was there no like?
Nah, I didn't really know anyone. Like being that young, you didn't really know. Like it wasn't until probably a couple years each championships went on, you'd see and you'd be like, oh, we know who that is.
Yeah.
We know. But so the first one, I didn't know nobody, so nobody really knew me either, because it was the first championships I'd ever entered. So yeah, from then that like put my foot in the door a bit.
To win your first championships as well, that must be
I know,
mental,
crazy. Because
isn't
then as soon as you win championships, you get trials for England. So you're up in Sheffield, and like being like 13, you're just there away from your parents, staying in like the flats, like where the likes at the time was Anthony Joshua was staying, all the GB. The
That's
GB
fucking
lot,
mad.
yeah, and it was all around the time of the 2012 Olympics.
Was it a bit
in London.
surreal when that
Crazy.
happened and you was obviously placing the flats in Sheffield with all these
Crazy.
people?
But when it was happening, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. I don't want to go to school no more. I want to do this. I want to come up here and I just want to do this. Like, no, yeah, it was honestly crazy. Because then, yeah, you're just up in GB and then you're seeing Anthony Joshua is like, his training sessions are there and like, being that young, it was like, oh,
The training must be so good as well when you're up there, like compared to obviously what you're doing down here.
It's like all day. Like you wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, you all got to weigh in, go to the track.
So you weigh in every morning?
Every morning. It was a shock to the system.
At 13?
I know, literally.
And they're making it
Yeah. You all got to weigh in. Like,
what's happened overnight?
You're allowed to be like...
It is a brutal sport though, isn't it, man, when you think about it. With all the weighing in and all of that sort of stuff. You're 13 years old and they're already like drilling that into you.
Yeah.
I suppose the younger you get into it though, like the more you get used to it and stuff like that.
But you like back then, when I look back at what I used to do, I was in the complete wrong stuff. Like I remember being about 14 and trying to make weight. I'd put bin bags on and go for runs, and I'd sleep with like bin bag dressing gowns, pajamas. Like,
that sounds
horrendous. Now I look back, I think what. If my mum did my mum know about this? Because that is my 14-year-old kid do that.
I would not be able. I would be sweating.
I wouldn't be able to sleep in a bin bag.
Just to try and make weight.
Like things. There's certain things like
no.
I got really weird.
That's all wrong.
I don't like certain things touching me when I'm sleeping.
It's horrible, honestly.
That's fucking horrendous. The things you have to do is just outrageous.
But that's I suppose comes with it, like all learning and stuff like that. Like you don't know what.
No, like back then you'd think don't drink no water because that puts on weight, so you'd be literally dehydrated to hell. But now it's like I'm drinking 5 litres a day, like to lose weight. So it's like you just you do such stupid things, but
sounds all like back to front.
Yeah, literally.
Funny, isn't it?
Is that did you learn like a lot of the new stuff now with your new nutritionist and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. Since I've turned pro and I've been around the pros and what they do, and obviously my new nutritionist Paul, he there's things that I even question, like, you sure I can do this? Like what the week of our fight, like I'm making weight. And he's like, yeah, right. For dessert, you're eating ice cream. And it's like, what? This is the best weight cut I've ever done in my life. Like, you know what I mean?
You might start cutting weight.
Start just cutting weight.
Ice cream.
No, yeah. So, there's loads. I'm learning loads.
No, that's weird actually, because I remember ages ago I watched a program and it was about I think she was a GB weightlifter. I'm not sure, but I was watching it and she had to cut weight and she was a bit over, and her trainer was like, this was like an hour before the thing, and her trainer was like, have a pint of water and a boiled egg.
What?
And she had a pint of water and a boiled egg and she lost 1 pound.
No way. See.
I just remember that. I was watching that when I was younger. She had a
fucking boiled egg.
I swear that's true. I won't be making it up. I swear I've seen that though, because I told people. If I am making it up, I've told loads of people that. So, but no, I remember stuff. But that must make sense. Have you ever had to do, like, obviously you've had 2 pro fights, but have you had to do anything like that where you thought that ain't gonna make me like lose weight?
Yeah, like literally the things I was eating before my debut. Well, for my second fight, it was a little bit different, but for my debut, the week up to it, I was like eating like jerk chicken, rice, like it was
normal
cushy.
food.
I was like, what? But yeah, and it all worked. Like I dropped the weight and easy as well, like crazy, because I would have never done. I would have starved. Like you think automatically you've got to stop eating, you've got to not
starve yourself.
But yeah,
is that an amateur mentality though, where
Yeah.
you've got to make weight consistently over like a weekend because you're fighting Friday, Saturday, Sunday if you get through all the rounds? Like you have to stay on top of the weight, so you're kind of like starving yourself.
Yeah, and like in the amateurs as well, like you just go, you just have your coach and your trainer, and they're not nutritionists and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? They're your boxing coach, but because you don't have that professional advice. You just try and do what you want, like what you think you can. But yeah,
since having the nutritionist, then do you feel like fitter, stronger?
Yeah, massive.
Does it make a huge difference if you're eating right and stuff like that?
Huge, like massively.
Yeah,
like, yeah. In everything I do, like just the portions, when to eat, what to eat. It all works. And
do you do things so you wouldn't eat past a certain time in the evening and stuff like that? Because I've heard like people like they wouldn't eat past a certain time because then you don't get as good sleep and shit. Like
I'm not too strict on all of that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just go by. He would send me the plan and I just
you just
do
stick
it.
to
Yeah,
it.
like I just do whatever he tells me to do. So I don't really, I don't worry too much about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
To be fair,
That's good.
But after the ABAs, you won. Well, not straight after, but you won the youth
NABCs. Yeah. That was. I think that was like a year or 2 after.
Is that just like another like? So you got the ABAs. Is that just like another competition
Yeah,
within?
it's like another national. It's
Yeah,
still like
yeah.
in the national. It's just not the obviously ABA's is a complete. It's their organisation
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
but yeah. So it was the same sort of girls were in it for like the competition, and I think it was my first fight back in a while. I can't remember why. Oh yeah, I had a transition in gyms, but and then I moved back to the academy. So that was my first one back, and yeah, just won that as well quite easily as well. That was probably my best performance up to that date. So yeah, I was buzzing about that. Like that just put me back in, because coming for the when I had that transition, I lost confidence. I just lost confidence and stuff. So put me back on the thing, like ready. Okay, I'm going back into the ABAs the next year. So, but yeah.
So what? Can you do you have to enter one or the other? Or
Nah, they're both different times of the year.
Okay.
So
but it'll be the same sorts of people in both.
yeah, same
Yeah.
sort of people in both. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're fighting pretty much the same people.
Pretty much. Well, it depends how the draw goes. So you fight people from say home counties in London.
Yeah.
That'll be that draw. But and then it'll be like up north against like the West Midlands and stuff like that. So it depends who gets the draw. So sometimes you are fighting different people, but usually when you get to like the quarters, semis, finals, it's the same sort of people every year.
That are getting through.
Yeah, there's sometimes it's someone
A wild
popped
card.
out of nowhere. Yeah.
You get the wild card coming in.
But yeah, in my situation anyway, for a good few years, it was the same sort of names in that circling
around.
You must have been buzzing going into your seniors then, having
Yeah, I
like you
was.
just won 2 massive competitions.
Yeah, and like so going into the seniors, I had my first senior bout like a few months before that, and so I was like just turned 18, I think. And I fought a 31-year-old, and back then it was like, oh my god, like 31-year-old, like everyone was well nervous for me and stuff, but done really well. And she was a good girl as well, like she had a good reputation.
That
and
is a
stuff.
massic
So,
jump though.
a massive,
How is she
like-
still amateur at 31? Are you even allowed? That is mental.
I think
Isn't
you're
it?
allowed to.
So you're
until,
gonna, surely you're going to be like
Yeah, I think
40.
You're allowed to be amateur until you're 40, I think. Yeah.
That is barbaric.
Yeah.
That is genuinely barbaric. I'm not even joking.
No, but
Because they could be 40 and fighting someone 18.
18,
No,
yeah.
that's mental, man. That's too far.
Literally.
That's all wrong, man.
Yeah, that is mental.
That is real
It is.
wrong.
The strength is so different as well.
Yeah.
Like this woman, she was a woman. Like I was a kid, and she like you could see the but I did.
She's got more of like an adult
strength and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I done really well, and from that it was like I got the ABAs in a couple months, and my confidence was.
Yeah,
flying
you
high.
must have been,
Yeah, I would
been
have
on top
been
of the world.
31. I can't believe that, man. That is. I thought they would have still been like. You would have been. Like you could fight people not them ages, but there would have been like a 5-year category, like every 5 years or something. Like 30 and 18, like you said, the strength difference is
Literally.
mental.
Literally, because a year prior or a few months prior to that, I could only be fighting people my own age.
Yeah.
And then that jump was like
Was you nervous yourself going into that?
everyone else's responses around me was like, "You're fighting a 31."
That makes you feel
I was
even
like,
more nervous, doesn't it, when you've got everyone around you going, are you sure?
literally.
Everyone's
It's
questioning it.
yes.
Everyone's like double, like
You probably weren't even thinking about it. And then when everyone's coming up to you like 31, you're
Yeah.
like, oh well, maybe.
Yeah, but literally, I was like, maybe I do need to think about this. Like, should I be doing this? But nah, it was So and then that put me in good stead for like the ABAs.
Was the pool of fighters for women like massive then?
Nah. Like most of my fights, I had to travel up and down hours, up and down the country, just to get a fight. Sometimes you have rematches just because. And the amount of times we would have all the shows in our home shows was in Luton, either the Working Men's Club or Luton Rugby Club, and the amount of times that I couldn't fight on our own shows because you couldn't get the opponents, you couldn't get the girls. That was the biggest like downfall to it. But then in championships there was always you're guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed fights.
So how long would the gap be like from fighting, say, one person to another person?
I liked to fight like every couple months. I would literally, well, for me, for any boxer, you'd fight every week, like every couple of weeks. That'd be the perfect thing. Like you're training like all the time, put flat out. But the reality of it, being a girl, I was fighting every like few months. Sometimes sometimes it would be a bigger gap. Like, it just depends.
Like twice a year or something like that.
Yeah, so per season I'd probably fight like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky, I'll get more, but yeah, it wasn't as often as as I wanted it to be at all. But
no, that's the thing. That's the thing with it, though, isn't it? It's just like, because I do we're in Luton now, but you're the only you're the only female I know that's boxing.
That's the same as me.
I don't think I know anyone else that's boxing.
no,
Do you?
no, never. Like, I've seen.
I think it's cool though.
In a few gyms, like, I was always the only girl, but I've seen now in a few amateur gyms, there's quite a few girls coming through, like training, and so I'm not sure if they're competing. But yeah, it's just always been that way.
Yeah.
Always, like, literally. And yeah, it's different. Like, I've always been quite different though. Like, even before boxing, I played like football at a really high level. So I've always been different. Like,
Yeah.
You've always been sporty.
Sporty,
Yeah.
and like in the male-dominated sports as well. Like, and it's just turned out that way. But no, yeah. Like, I think I was the first professional woman to turn professional from Luton. So, yeah.
So are you like proud? Sorry, are you proud to like be paving the way? Like, because obviously people are gonna be looking up to you, saying, "Oh, Tysie can."
You can inspire a generation of
because when no one else is doing it, there's no one for people to look up to. So you're gonna pave the way, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Tysie can do it." Like, is that like? Is that?
Yeah, that's like when. I have been getting like girls message me since turning pro and stuff like that from Luton, that are into other sports but want to do boxing, and that is what makes me happy. Like, if I can inspire someone else to do it because I'm doing it, and just jump out of the comfort zone, because let's face it, have you ever been to a boxing gym?
No.
Like, it's daunting. Like, it is, and it probably still is for boys as well. Like, there's nothing to be daunting about it, but you walk in and it's like being the only girl. It's like, bloody hell. But because I've done it from such a young age, I don't mind.
It's normal
now. Like,
now.
It's normal for me.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see why girls wouldn't walk into a boxing.
It's intimidating.
So
I think they'd find it super intimidating.
What happens with the sparring and that then?
Just had to spoil all the lads. Like, I just had literally.
It's Frankie's pointing at herself behind
Frankie's got anyone watching me. Keep looking over there because Frankie is behind the camera, isn't it? But so what? You just spar the boys now?
I had to, like, well, now I don't. But yeah, like, for all them years, I'd be having like the biggest scraps with like Frankie.
That is mental, man.
Who's winning?
Do you know what? You know what? You know what the most brutal scraps were with Stephen Duffy? Yeah, he literally was like, he'd come in the ring with me and he'd be like, "I'm gonna give you a nosebleed today." And I'm like, what?
Duff.
Yeah.
It's the wild world.
So we used to have these wars, yeah?
No, that's what we call him, isn't it? That's what we call him.
So we'd have these things, me and Steve, and we'd be like, I'm trying to give him a nosebleed now because you just said that. So we'd be having a competition who can give each other a nosebleed
Christ,
first. Like,
man.
or like he'd go to me, "I'm going to drop you with a body shot, watch. And he'll try and pull it off, and I'm there just covering my body like, nah. But yeah, I just literally had to go tough in with the lads, and they didn't take it easy on me. No. Not.
Do you think that helped you though? Like sparring with men, obviously.
Give me so much confidence.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, and I
yeah,
used to
boost your
think,
confidence.
no girl's hitting me this hard,
Yeah.
or like roughing me up like this.
Yeah.
You know, I learned mixing with the best, and like getting the best experience from it. But obviously it did help as well. Like, sometimes it was like, no, I need to go and find sparring girls because it's more realistic and whatnot. But,
Yeah.
so I would travel like quite a lot to London and stuff, and go like when I was younger and go sparring, and
It's good to gain that sort of experience.
Mainly, it was just with the lads all the time.
Would that have been for like most girls then doing it? Probably.
Yeah, probably still now as well. But I think things are a bit different now. Like, I know it's only been a few years, but things are a bit different.
No,
like,
things have changed massively.
I think that just. I think
people are a
that.
lot softer.
Yeah,
like, not softer, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah.
Don't
like,
get him started. don't get the cameraman started on that.
People are
That's a
soft.
rabbit hole. That's a big rabbit hole.
No, they generally are.
No, they're softer, and like even when people are training, it's like they're not getting put through their paces or beasted like what we had to do. Like, and you need that. Boxing ain't a game. Like, it's not to be played with at all. Like, you've got to be. you've got to have something else in you that when you're in the trenches, you've got to be put through it, you know? So,
Getting punched in the face hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt.
I wouldn't want to get punched in the face every day.
I've been
Why do we do it?
I've been probably hit in the face about 5 times in my life, and every single time it fucking hurts. Real bad.
But
It is ringing.
the semi-final senior elites.
Yeah, that was probably my best performance to date.
That was 2018.
Now, but, yeah, so that was the last senior elites that I entered. I had a good couple fights and then it was the weekend we went up in, I think it was in Sheffield, and the draw come out and I got like one of the top girls who I've actually boxed before, like years before, but she was like the favourite to win. Basically, she was on GB and she come from the army as well. So I knew it was going to be a tough fight.
Yeah,
but to
she
be honest,
sounds tough.
I wanted her because I wanted to prove myself and prove to everyone like what level I'm at. And it was a tough fight. It was a wicked fight. It was a total like war. And I fell short. But even to this day, I am a sore loser. I am. But even to this day, I'm like, I could have nicked that. Even when I watch it back, I'm like, I still think I could have nicked that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was close.
Well, Team GB, if she's on Team, she must have been.
Yeah. No, she was
with Team
was
GB
wicked.
now. And that
Yeah, she's
gone
turned pro now. Yeah, she's turned pro. So
Hopefully you have another. Rebecca gets to have another go at her at some point.
No, it could happen, definitely. Like,
front of the lights.
It definitely could happen.
Would you be willing to take that fight?
Oh,
If
yeah.
it got offered to you?
Oh yeah, it would be for like, I would take it for like a good something decent, like a title or something. 100%,
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Well, say if it was offered like you go 3-0 and they're like, yeah, whatever.
She's
her
good
name
enough.
Is like, you can have her.
I would. Thing is with me, right? I would fight all of them, but that's why I've got a manager to protect me from myself.
Yeah. Because
Like,
You're your own worst
I'll be
enemy.
Everyone, if someone asked me, would you fight this person? Would you fight that? I would. But what fight I wouldn't. Like,
yeah.
But that's why my manager.
That's your job.
Will do it.
That is your job,
My job.
isn't
Like, so that's why I got a manager who protects me from myself and does it at the right time. Like, so I would fight all the girls, but it's when to do it and what the right. Because
Picking your moments.
I'm not just fighting just to fight. I'm fighting to build myself to become something bigger, world champion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I have to be smart about it or take the moves correctly.
We're just interrupting this podcast for a quick sponsorship break. This sponsor is a sponsor we use ourselves. You don't get the best logos or thumbnails unless you head over to our brother at Ollie D Graphics on Instagram. He does everything, ranging from logo designs, illustrations, animations, and much, much more. Head over to his Instagram, shoot him a little DM, say the Fijian sent you, or the Ginge. He might even chuck in a little extra. With excellent customer service, brilliant pricing, it really, really is a no-brainer. All his links are in the description, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify. And now we get back with the pod. Thank you.
Obviously, also in May 2018, you had a daughter,
Yeah.
Macy.
Macy May, yeah.
Just talk us through that. So how did that happen? Like, how are you coping with it, around in and around boxing, things like that?
It was random. Like, it sounds weird, but it's random. Like, I was literally had the senior elites.
Yeah.
And then that summer, I wanted to. Do you know what that happened that summer? Actually, I kind of said after that loss, I'm a sore loser. Where I said, you know what, I'm going to take a couple months.
Felt a bit hard done by.
My life, like from 10 years old to I was 18, 19, just in the gym every day after school, in the gym. It was just, and I thought, you know what, I want to be normal. I want to, like, my friends are going out, they're going festivals, they're going doing this and partying, and I want to experience all of that.
You owe yourself that as well, I think.
Yeah, and like, I always kind of never, like, I'd always want to do it, but I wouldn't because I'd be like, oh no, because the coach will find out, or I shouldn't be partying. I'm a boxer. Boxers don't party. But and then I found, like, that summer, I went and I said, look, I ain't coming to the gym I'm just gonna like switch completely off and I went to a few festivals with my friends and whatnot, and then went and spoke to my coach after a few months of enjoying myself and like just being a normal teenager, basically.
Suppose it gets hard sometimes though, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Like living to that strict.
So hard, and it was such a nice feeling, like, of not doing it and have carefree and just doing what I wanted. And then it got to a point where I was like, I need structure. I need, like, to focus on something. I need to strive towards something. And doing this, like, just working and then going out at the weekend, yeah, it's fun, but it's not for me. Like, it's definitely not for me to do it every week all the time. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy, even now, I do enjoy a night out and whatnot. But so I went to my coach and I went back and was like, right, I'm ready to come back. I'm ready. I've had my blowout. Like, I'm ready to fully focus. And next year, I'm going for that title and I'm going to win it. Like, so that was 1 week. Got back in the gym for a week. Next week, I rang him crying my eyes out. I need to come and talk to you. And then I've gone to his house and I've told him, like, well, he actually said it to me before I even said it to him. He's like, don't tell me you're pregnant. I was like, I'm pregnant. Like, pregnant. Like, I had all these big dreams.
There's always something like in the way, isn't it? Like when you go to like fully set your mind to something, it's like there's another thing.
Boom,
Obviously, it's not the worst thing to happen, obviously.
No, but it was like, oh my God. I was like 18, I think I was, 19. And I was like, oh my God. So obviously, just that was it. I had a baby. And then everyone's in my ear like, that's it now. What would you box for? You ain't going to box again. You ain't going to box. Tell me I'm not going to box again and I'll do it just to prove you. Like, that's the sort of person I have. Like, don't tell me I'm not going to do it. Even my parents, they were like, you ain't going to box again. I was like, you bloody watch now. And then I sort of forced myself, after having Macy, I knew I would box again, but I kind of forced myself in it for the reason of everyone else telling me I'm not going to. Probably weren't ready to, when I did go back into it. Yeah, I probably weren't ready. And got straight back into it. Started training, got my weight down. And then, he said, do you want to compete again? I was like, 100%, I want to compete again. I do want to do it. But I didn't think it was going to be that quick. I was literally turning up on a Saturday morning for hill sprints, got to the bottom of the hill, done our warm-up. And as he's about to say go, his phone rang. And it was a fight for me for that night. So I'm like literally about to do my sprints and he's like, do you want to fight tonight? I was like, yeah, go on. And I just literally didn't do the sprints, travelled up to, like, I think it was Oxford or something, and had my first fight back. I wasn't ready at all. And
how soon after was this?
This was like probably about 8 months. 8 months after.
Months.
So
Yeah,
not too.
Not like I thought it was like you were gonna say like 4 months or something like that.
I thought it was gonna be like weeks.
Nah.
I don't know why, man.
Put the baby out.
Hold this for a second. I'm going on to Oxford, boy.
No, yeah, 8 months. Yeah, that's still, it is still soon.
Yeah,
though,
like, I was kind of in a baby bubble, and like I just shouldn't. I don't know. Not even that it was too soon, but my mindset weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
Like my mindset and everything. I forgot what it was completely like to be in that competing like mind frame, and got in the ring and I was fighting. I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, I shouldn't be in here tonight. Like, I really should not be in here. Like,
and then thoughts are going through your head before you're about to fight.
No, when I was fighting,
in the ring.
I was like in like the third round, I was thinking I should not be in here tonight, and I was just fighting for my life basically. Lost that, and then afterwards it was like, fuck, what am I? Is everyone right? I ain't gonna box again. Like,
them thoughts will start creeping in. Yeah,
like, should I really be doing this? No, I should just be a mum. And then, again, I was a proper sore loser. And not even that I was a sore loser, because I didn't lose because of my ability that night. I just lost because I don't know, I just
wasn't ready.
There. Like, I weren't there. But what was getting me down was the thoughts, like, maybe I'm not going to box again. But what else am I going to do with my life? Like, boxing is my life. And then, we went into a lockdown and whatnot. So I had that time and weren't doing nothing. Gyms were shut, weren't doing anything. And then what happened after that? So Oh yeah, so I'd put on loads of weight in lockdown, and I was like, oh. So I started doing a few runs and stuff. Started to listening to podcasts, getting my mind like in that mind frame of like getting back being an athlete like again, and then I just decided to go down to the Pug gym in London because there was no gyms open, amateurs gyms weren't open, but I wanted to get back into it, even just punch, nothing crazy, just start punching again and that. Went down to the Pug, met Tony. I was only there for a few days when he sort of said to me like, what do you think? And I said, well, what do you think? Like, you tell me what you like, if you can see anything like. But I was driven, like, I don't know, something just switched in me, like, compared to how I had been for the past couple of years. That's like, this is it, Tyce, like, this is it. Don't, like, nothing's half-hearted here. If you're going to do it, like, all or nothing. Then he was like, I reckon we could, like, make something big with you and stuff like that. So I said, all right, well, I'll just keep coming for a few weeks. Got nothing else to do. Kept going. The more I was going, the more like I was loving it, and I just switched up everything I was doing, like back up, like in my life, because I was getting into bad habits and just not living how a boxer would live anyway. But all that the day I walked into that gym, all that just stopped. Everything, I just started doing everything properly, like. And that was it, like, and ever since, that was October 2020. So ever since that, I've literally just been living life, like, exactly how I should be, doing everything properly, and, like, yeah.
Did you think you were going to go straight to pro, or did you think you'd go back to amateurs first?
I ideally wanted to go back to amateurs, and I wanted to do the elites again. I did, and then as time was ticking on, and the amateur gyms weren't opening, and there was no shows going to be no one knew how long.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm getting to a level here. I'm getting good sparring. I'm doing really well. I'm getting to a level where it's like I need to be competing soon.
Yeah, competing again. Yeah.
So it's like there was no time to waste really. And then I decided, you know what, I probably won't be going back to the amateurs, and then. I had no intentions of going pro, like, ever in my life. Like, that was because women's pro was, no one heard of it, no one knew of it. It was rubbish. There was, like, nothing in it for, like, it's better to stay amateur.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, over the last couple of years, the women's, like,
it's got
picked up. It's really
like,
picked up.
Every card, there's a female on every card now, that was unheard of.
On, like,
before.
if not the main thing, it's the under.
Yeah. So... from seeing that, and then in my weight category, my category, that's the busiest category for women, and so there's obviously a lot of competition there now. So it's not going to be a dead end thing. Like, only a few girls are in that category. All the girls are in my category. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, let's just.
You can make a serious career out of it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Definitely.
So yeah, like. It's all.
Go on.
Do you find it sort of difficult, obviously, to balance the being a mum, training? Can that be difficult to balance at times, or do you think you get the balance right? Can it be stressful? Obviously, I just think if I was in that position, I think that'd be way too much for me.
Yeah. It's tough. Sorry. Like, it is hard, and I've just got to be very organised and live by a routine and structure every single day. Yeah. Like, that's how. If something's out of routine, that just throws
everything off. Yeah.
It is proper tough though. Like, but now she goes to nursery, so I fit all my work and training and everything in them hours, and then the odd time I'll have to train in the evening. Obviously, my family's really good. I've got good support. She's got a good dad.
That's quality.
Everything just works, and I don't actually have a clue how. Like, it's like I'm winging it.
Yeah. No, do you know what it is? It's weird. Me and Ray were speaking about this the other day. It's like when it's like a spiritual thing. I think when you're personally ready. No, it's true. She'll understand what I mean when I say this, though. But when like you're personally ready to make a change and go for something, sometimes you'll say to yourself, "Oh, say like I'm going to stop eating chocolate this week. And then you never do. And then there's that one time you're like, everything falls into place. It's like, right, I'm ready to stop now and
Yeah, yeah.
move on, whatever. Was it kind of like that with you then? Because it sounds like how you're saying it, like even the lockdown sounds like it kind of helped you in a way, because
Oh, yeah.
you got to spend
Yeah, I
time
know
with your
what you
daughter,
mean.
and it
It all
pushed her
fell into
age on.
space.
So then when you did go back to boxing, she would go
Old enough to go nursery. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
That's
like,
actually
it all,
well
it all
thought.
did fall into place, like as it should have. Like, but yeah, I just it was if we didn't have the lockdown, I doubt I would be in this position. I doubt I would have made them choices.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything happens for a
do you
reason,
know what I mean?
doesn't it?
Everything happens for. I was speaking about this earlier, actually. Like, if we didn't have lockdown, I wouldn't be sat here as a professional boxer. I don't think. I think my life would have carried on going on a downward spiral, like
Yeah.
it was. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's it all just happened, and now it happens. It all just works.
Yeah.
Because if you would have told me a couple of years ago you'll be a professional boxer, you're going to be training in London nearly, I'm like, how? I've got a child. Like, how does that even work? But it works, and I make it work. And yeah, it's just yeah, it's tough though. It is.
Yeah,
tough. It's not
yeah.
easy. It's
You're making it sound like
tough.
it's easy,
Yeah,
but I bet it's really not that easy,
It's
man.
not like I'm quite an organised person. And
Yeah.
if I wasn't, I don't think I would be able to keep up with this lifestyle. Like, because it's literally 1,000 miles.
full
an
on.
hour.
And
It
you're
is.
still
It's full on.
working as well.
Yeah, still working. So it's
So-
like.
Is that so? You're balancing 3 things at once.
That's
Yeah,
giving me anxiety.
I know.
That is giving me
No.
Like that,
anxiety.
like even like balancing work and boxing on its own is hard, but
Yeah.
balancing the 3 is like,
That's impressive.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is
no.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's
Fair
it's
play,
tough.
fair
But like the thing that just keeps me going, it will pay off. It will all pay off. Like, and I will be in a better position
Yeah.
and more
Because of
comfortable,
it.
and like, yeah, and so it just keeps me going.
Exactly.
Bringing a belt home for her one day and
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Do you know- exactly. Literally.
Well, champ. Big one.
that's it.
That's what you want.
But turning pro, obviously it was at Watford in the leisure centre, in front of like 600, 700 people from Luton. Like, what was that feeling like? Obviously, you've just described like loads of emotions, but to be back out there in front of 600, 700 familiar
Madhouse.
faces, like an
Absolute
it's an
madhouse.
absolute madhouse.
That was unreal. Like, I literally get goosebumps when I think about it. It was crazy. Like, and to think that's our first fight back in a couple of years. Like, we didn't know how we're going to deal with fighting in them circumstances. Never mind with 600 people just going crazy. Like, Luton really turned up that day. Like, it was unreal. Honestly, unreal.
Is
Like,
Yatesy's on tour?
yeah,
I was
literally.
looking around and I was like, Yatesy's.
Christmas Eve at Yates.
Yeah, it literally was. Oh, there's only 2 occasions when everyone turns out for Luton. It's Christmas Eve on Yates
Innit?
or something like that, like a big
Literally.
event.
Nah, yeah, it was unreal. Honestly, there was even faces that you just like. What are you doing here? Like,
Yeah.
you just don't even picture to see. But like, it was
Let's
crazy.
support.
Like, even when like, for me, it's when I walked out, about to walk out, do my ring walk, and I'm just standing there for a minute, just taking it all in, and I'm like, and Tony's behind me going, just take it all in. You walk when you're ready, sort of thing. And I was like, just looking at everyone, I'm like. Just screams like from every angle. I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to go and fight in front of these people. Like, it's more pressure to not bloody lose. Like,
Yeah.
That's
in
what
front of all
I was
these
going to say.
people.
Did you feel more under pressure?
Do you know what? I didn't. I thought I would, and I didn't know how I would react until I got there. But nah, I felt it
You
was.
thrived under the lights.
I
Some
thought,
people
you
do,
know what?
don't
I
they?
put the work in. I literally went to hell and back putting the work in, and like, I've just got to go and be confident and show my skills, and that's all that was going through my mind really. But yeah, it wouldn't have been good if I did lose in front of 600 people.
What is the emotions like before you're walking out though? It's your first pro fight. Like, you're fighting a woman, and she was like we were saying before,
She was,
Frankie's
like,
one was
rough
like a
and ready,
mini
wasn't she?
Terminator.
Yeah.
This woman she come to fight. Oi, she didn't come to. This is why I was so surprised. Yeah, literally. Like, we were talking before, yeah, and for both of your first pro fights, you had absolute. Like,
They were tough,
they weren't
yeah.
no like bums. Like, you weren't fighting
Yeah.
no bums. Like, they were fucking decent.
Nah, yeah, they were tough. Well, they were kind of under pressure to get us. Obviously, we probably only got matched that week of the. So it was like, just, you know what, I'll fight her. Don't worry. Like, like, you just feel like, I don't even know. Like, I never felt like that ever in my life.
Undescribable.
Yeah, it's undescribable. So, and then when when you're about to fight, you get that same feeling. Well, I get that same feeling every single time, and you don't get that feeling anywhere else ever. Like, it's crazy. I don't know if it's to do with you in your head or what.
It's like a drug.
Yeah, like.
People get
honestly,
like addicted to that feeling,
Yeah,
don't they?
no,
Like,
yeah.
you can never get that sort of high.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of boxers go downhill when they retire and that, because they
crave that buzz.
Like, you'll never get that
Or
buzz
they come
ever,
back.
ever. Yeah, or
Like they
back.
retire and they can't
Do something-
handle it, so
yeah,
they come back.
Literally, like, and I don't blame them, because you do sometimes think, like, when I'm done with boxing, how can one day it'll be your last ever fight, like that last ever feeling, that adrenaline just going like crazy, like. Yeah, you don't really hear much. Well, you hear like noise, but you can't. You would never be able to be like, oh yeah, I heard someone say this, or you can't make out what people are saying. Like,
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. It's just noise. It's
Background
like overwhelming feeling.
Yeah,
though.
because
It's
I was
crazy.
standing next to Callum in the first round. He's like, "Move your head, Tysie." I was like, "I don't think
She
she
ain't
can
gonna
hear
hear
you." And there's 600 people screaming.
Literally, everyone's shouting instructions. But you do tune in. I tune in to Tony. I know what he's telling me, and I can hear him, but I can't hear what anyone else.
You're just
is saying.
in the zone.
in the zone, literally. But yeah, it's crazy.
What did it feel like when you dropped her then?
I was like, I just wanted to, but the bell went, so I was just thinking, oh my god, don't, because I've been warned about this. Don't jump straight away and like you just do something stupid. So I was thinking, okay, don't jump, but put it on.
But is that like your first instinct?
Yeah, you want to just think, I've got you
like
down now. I just want to like finish it, but like you've got to kind of hold
Early
back.
night.
But yeah, literally. Yeah, so that's a crazy fit. I want to feel that again, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you. Like, honestly, nah, yeah.
February the
it's good.
26th.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's just undescribable. It is. It's like it's a feeling that no.
I think it's a feeling that unless you've done it, you can't explain it. One of them sort of feelings, you just can't put it into words. You have to do it to understand what it's like.
When you look back, it's like goosebumps. Like, geez, like it's crazy. But I didn't feel too like that on my second fight though. To be fair, it was more like because it was away from home. There was actually literally no pressure. I was on TV though, but
And it was a quick turnaround as well.
It wasn't planned. Like, it weren't planned. Like, obviously, we were gonna be fighting in December. That show got pulled. Then, like, couple weeks after the debut, Tony got a phone call about that one, and it was literally like 4 weeks after the debut, and we were like, yeah, just take it, because we wanted to before Christmas. So it was like, yeah, just take it, and yeah, it was like kept the momentum going.
Yeah. Send you into Christmas with 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and now ready. Like, I can't believe it already. Now I'm 2-0. Like, a couple months ago, I had no fights. Like,
Yeah.
Now I'm like, it's just goes quick.
But
It's crazy
that
world,
shows some courage though to like for your second fight to go up to like Sheffield.
Yeah.
You just come off the back of having 600 people screaming your name. Like that's a comfortable feeling. Like there's a lot of familiar faces. But then 3 weeks later to go, 2-0, I'm going Sheffield.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That is ballsy, isn't it?
That
takes some balls
that
to do
does
that.
take some
Takes
guts.
serious-
Like that's
serious
not
balls.
serious. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of time for that. That's bullshit. I would not be doing that.
boxing coach Harrison.
No,
Link in bio.
No, but yeah, that does take. So was there different? Obviously, there would be different feelings going into every fight. But what did you feel more nervous then?
Nah, I had a bit more like I've just done it, so it's like more confident. That gave me confidence for that second fight, and I was so relaxed, like scarily relaxed, like in the hotel I was staying in. That's the hotel I was fighting in, so it was like everything was just there. It was like go for a little walk on the day, come back. It was like, all right, let's get ready, let's go and fight. It just felt so chilled. Like shouldn't have felt that chilled.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it was good.
I've heard fighters talk about that actually, and they say that like you just said, like, but they panic. Like it can panic people because they don't feel how they should be feeling. Like especially if they've had like 10, 13 fights.
What if you feel too relaxed?
Yeah, like sometimes they always feel nervous. Like before a fight, every fight they feel nervous. Then there's one fight it's like, no, I feel too relaxed, and then you start overthinking.
Yeah, because you think
plays on your
by
mind,
now, I've at least got a few butterflies, or I'm feeling this certain type of way, and I'm not feeling it now. Like, what's going on? Am I all right? Like, but no, I think it was probably to do with subconsciously knowing I ain't got 600 people screaming, like
Yeah.
waiting for me out there. Like, I think I was only allowed to sell like I only had two tables to fill, so I only had from 600 to 25 people like that I knew for. But that might have
25's
been the
alright
reason.
though. It's like
Yeah.
on short notice to get up to Sheffield. Travelling fans.
Yeah. Frankie Story. Yeah.
No, but that's wicked. And obviously, it's going to set you in good stead for the 3-0.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And this year, I just want to be busy. Like that's my main objective. Like obviously, down the line, I want titles and to work my way up the ladder like that. But this year's for me, it's just all about learning as much as I can, mixing with all different opponents, and just trying to get as many fights as I can. That's what this year's about for me, really.
Just getting experience, gaining confidence, just keep the ball
getting
rolling.
the rounds in, just keeping that momentum going, basically.
Do they plan their shows like in advance? Like,
Yeah.
will they have a load of dates now?
Yeah,
that
we've
they'll
got
be like-
we've got all our dates.
so
we've
you
got
know all of them, so
yeah.
you kind of know when to prepare for and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that's wicked then.
Yeah,
But you know the dates for the year.
yeah. So
But you can't obviously release.
We're releasing them live in Fijian.
Hang on. What was those dates actually?
We need some sort of news, man. We've got to take ourselves to the next step.
we've got like for next year we've got our planner.
No, that's good.
I say that is good.
Obviously, God willing, we don't get injuries and whatnot after fights. But yeah, so at least we know we're going to be busy throughout the whole year. So it's good.
Good, that is good.
Yeah.
Question of the pod?
Yeah.
You bring it in for us.
So pretty much the question of the pod is, so what is the most
This is why you don't do it. Fijian's taking back over.
Mine's gone blank.
Your most euphoric moment in life so far, like the peak of the mountain for you. Like it doesn't have to be in boxing; it can be anything. Why is he laughing? Look, he's laughing. See what you've done.
I was laughing because he's
Thought, do you know what it was? Today I thought, do you know what? I'll let Liam do the question of the pod because it sort of looks like I'm just start taking over. I give it to him and he fucking fumbled. He fumbled the bag.
You had one job.
He had one job, a question of the
Well,
pod.
I
fucked.
was going to say like inspirational or something. I don't know why.
No, but
I don't know why. I was gonna be like,
your most euphoric moment so far, or the peak of the mountain so far for you.
It's got to be becoming a mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a baby. Yeah.
Good answer.
Boxing wise is probably my debut. Yeah,
Yeah.
can't beat that at all. Yeah, I've heard as well. Everyone says you could have like 100 fights. You'll forget some in between and whatever, but you'll never ever forget your debut. And I'm sure we will never forget our debut. Like that was
One hell of a debut.
Yeah, one. to
Yeah, it helps
remember.
when it's like a big one as well.
One
Do
to
you know what I
remember,
mean?
You know what I mean? Nah, yeah. So that's probably what it.
What is the feeling like? Obviously, becoming a mum and having a kid, because everyone says like that's another thing. Everyone says like you won't know that feeling until you have to experience that feeling. Like can you describe any?
Scary. It's like, I don't know. Like you could prepare yourself all you want your whole pregnancy, but until that baby's in your eyes, like when I got given her, it was like, oh yeah, my baby, like all emotional, lovely. Then everyone leaves the room and it's like,
What do I do?
I've just been like she's.
Yeah.
What do I do? Like, I just take her home now.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. But even
That
now,
is mental.
literally-
No, that is mental.
literally, they leave the room and you're just left to your own devices. Me and Callum in the labour room, like, right, who changing her nappy? Like, what's going on? Like, what the hell? Like, but and then, it's crazy. But you never feel love. You'll never feel a love like it as soon as you hold your baby. But yeah, it's scary, especially being young as well. Like it was. Didn't know what to do, but you just learn you learn on the job. There's no handbook for it, but no, yeah, it's nuts. Like it's not even now. I think she's going to be 4, and I think I've actually got a baby. I'm a mum. Like, It still baffles me how I'm a mum now, and she's going to be 4, and how she's even going to be 4. That's like crazy. Like,
and
years
that's
are flying.
at least she's going to see like all your fights as well, pretty much. Because by the time she's 10, you're still going to be.
Yeah. Well, one of her nursery friends, like the mum, said to me last week, "Oh, are you Macy's mum?" Yeah. She goes, my daughter goes bangs on about you all the time because Macy's told her mum was boxing on TV. I was like, she's only 3. She's going into her school like, my mum's boxing on TV.
Don't give me detention.
But she's already like, she already knows quite like, and she'll be like, "Are you allowed chocolate? Are you fighting?" Like she knows like bits about it now.
Yeah.
Like it's just her life.
If
now.
she says one day like, "Mum, I want to box," would you be?
If she really wanted to do it, I would obviously support it, but I'd prefer her not to.
Yeah.
Like this it's a hard sport.
Yeah.
Like it's hard, and yeah, I'd prefer her not to, but obviously I'd support her the whole way. But yeah, and it's a selfish sport. A lot of people say it's a selfish sport. Yeah, like it's selfish on your family. Like so, sometimes I get guilty because my little girl, like I think I'm constantly training, running or doing like just dieting and stuff like that, and it's like it's selfish on your family, and like I never get to see my family and friends, and it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's a hard sport, not just physically, but all them aspects as well. Like you literally got to put your life and soul fully on that. So,
No.
but yeah.
No, that's good.
That is good. That's quality.
Anything else from you?
I'm just going to stay quiet, I think. No, I'm good. I know I'm good.
Rain?
No, I'm good.
Frank's?
Yeah, I'll ask a question.
Frank Sinatra?
Can I
Just
ask-
no, shout it because when we've moved
Yeah.
this, we lost bare fucking.
So obviously, you know,
What, you're
is
asking
it-
me a
Yeah,
question?
I'm asking you a question.
Alright,
So what is it that you do to switch off from boxing? Because obviously I know myself the pressures of selling tickets and having to be training on time and eating. Like, what is it that you do outside of boxing?
Good
to chill out?
question. Eat a lot of food. Now, I like... do you know what? I still am I love music events, festivals, or going out with my friends and stuff like that. Like, if there's no fights or I'm not in camp and stuff, I'm still a normal 23-year-old
Exactly.
with a normal life and making memories. And my friends, they love going out. They love all of that stuff. So if I weren't boxing, I'd probably be doing it with them.
That's why the fight's the perfect thing for them. They go to the
It's a
fight and
night
then they all
out,
go
innit?
out after. So
Literally.
It's a win-win.
it's double bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I like going out, enjoying myself and stuff like that. But yeah, it's important for that as well, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a complete monk that don't do nothing. Like, I need my blowout, and if sometimes I'm going, and I have that little week off of going out, seeing my friends, going out, having a few drinks and whatnot, and come back and I'm beaming again, like I'm buzzing, like because I needed that break. I needed it. It's not always a bad thing.
But do you think it's sometimes a good thing to have a little break from the sport and just
Definitely.
be normal?
Yeah,
So
100%.
Refreshes you, I suppose.
refreshes, just makes you reset.
After
Yeah.
a fight, would you allocate yourself like a certain amount of time off, or does it just depend on how you feel after?
Yeah, so after the fights that I've had, I was back in the gym probably like 4 days after the fight, but like I went out, had a couple nights out, eat loads, but I'd probably have a week off where I'm like, where I'm so relaxed. I'm not worried about nothing, but I'll still go in the gym and just do a little, nothing crazy, just shake out and stuff. But it depends when I'm next fighting. So obviously after my second fight, it was Christmas, so it was like perfect timing. I had Christmas off, like it was good. But so this year be a bit tighter because I am going to be quite busy with my fights. So, but it's definitely after every fight, it's good to have like a week off, just being yourself, you know, doing stuff you enjoy. Like a lot of people frown upon boxers or athletes going out enjoying themselves, but it's like, do you actually expect us to live in the gym every
the
single
magnifying
day?
glass
Like,
is a bit too thing now, isn't
literally,
it?
like,
Even with
too
footballers,
many
anymore, like,
opinions
footballers
and-
can't even do whatever they want anymore.
Yeah.
Like they get seen doing a balloon or something. They're done, isn't
that's
they?
it. But
Yeah, they are.
another thing, you've got
Stupid.
to have good people around you and like
Yeah.
trusting people around you. Like if you are out having a good night out, you can't have the the worst thing a lot of people I've had over the years is like, ain't you a boxer? You shouldn't be drinking alcohol. Aren't you a boxer? And I'm like, can I let my hair down before I go back into a training? Like,
Yeah.
without being reminded that I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, like, yeah, that's it.
Here we go.
The cameraman has spoken.
Doesn't want to ask questions, but he wants to fucking get involved, does he?
Just jump in when you want, mate. It's fine.
But no, that's wicked. I'm gonna link your Instagram and stuff. So if people want tickets, they can just go
Wicked.
onto your Instagram, DM me and stuff like that. But no, thank
Lovely.
you for coming on.
Very
Yeah,
much.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
on.
no. Oh, we'll hopefully have you on again after.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get you back
We'll work
on.
something out throughout the year.
Yeah,
But before we go, we need to do this here right now.
What?
You said right. There's 2 boxes here. Yeah. Liam reckons. When does the fight happen to me, Khan Kelbrook? Yeah. Come in the middle.
go on.
Jump in,
go
boy.
on.
Hello.
When does the
Bit nervous.
when does the
That's
fight
alright.
happen? The Kelbrook fight.
In Feb or March?
Yeah,
February.
Yeah.
February. Will this be out before then? Who cares anyway? But he reckons.
shoulders.
He reckons. Budging me out the sofa. Right, Amir Khan, Kelbrook. He reckons Amir Khan's gonna batter. He didn't say. He sat me over there. He goes, I reckon he's gonna batter Kelbrook. He said batter.
Yeah, I do think that.
Nah.
Yeah.
I reckon.
I'm not. Look, I'm
Kelbrook's
not
gonna win.
saying I'm like I'm a pundit. I just think personally, Amir Khan will batter Kelbrook. Not that I don't actually like Amir Khan nor Kelbrook. I don't like.
He
either.
said he's been watching videos of Kelbrook getting stopped by a jab. That's what he said. That's what's giving him
my
this
God.
opinion. He goes, yeah, I see a jab. Stop Kelbrook.
What do you think, Tom? What do you think?
I reckon Kelbrook will win and possibly stop Khan. Possibly. Khan's fast and whatnot, but
He's got a glass chin though, isn't he? If he gets caught, I have seen him get some.
No, this is why I
some
don't
horrible.
think Khan's
like,
going to win. I think he's done. I think they're both pretty
yeah,
much
and I
like
think this
at the
fight,
end of their careers.
it's
but-
not a good.
They should have done it.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Basically, it's just
Should've happened
it's a
years ago.
payday for him, innit? They're going to take this big payday and then retire.
But there's a rematch clause.
Oh, is there a rematch
there's a
clause as
rematch
well?
clause.
Oh,
So
good.
they're going to have 2 fights.
2 paydays and then they're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, then they'll retire. Yeah, man.
I hate Amir Khan. I won't go.
Yeah. I think
He's
he
getting
will.
angry.
Why are you getting angry
He's
for?
gritting his teeth, man.
Coming out of his ears.
Amir Khan's a bit annoying, but
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I personally think Kelbrook, he just seems to want it more, and he's
hungry.
to be fair,
he's wanted-
1 minute. To be fair, all I've seen is Amir Khan all over Sky Sports.
Yeah, I've seen
Talking and showing his camp and that, and I ain't seen nothing out of
Yeah,
Kelbrook.
he's just
I've seen
working.
nothing.
I think Kel's in the Canary Islands,
He's
man.
in the gut.
He's in the Canary Islands, I'm
Ventura,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
He's in the
Ventura. I was watching some clips about him, but he does look in good shape. I did see an interview from him, but Amir Khan on the night. Well, come on.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future.
Come on, mate.
Hopefully in the future we can do like, so obviously I'd make more room and get another mic, but we could do something like this and then watch like a card or something like that and
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll pull it apart.
yeah, I'm going to
Definitely.
work some stuff out because then for 2 people not knowing what's going on and then 2 people like
That'd be so
like,
fun.
like little things
Wow,
and
what's going on? I'm just winging the whole thing.
no, but,
I'm just winging it. I'm winging it.
but no, that's another episode of Fijian and Ginge. This is actually season 2.
Is it really?
Yeah, this will be the first episode of season 2, so this should come out. It should be the week of your fight. I think I've worked it all out to be.
Wicked,
So, hopefully,
Bit of
go out there and
promotion.
smash it, Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you smash it,
thank
and we'll all be there. Hopefully, I'll be doing interviews.
Yes, you will
Yeah,
be doing
I will be
interviews.
doing
That's
interviews.
all sorted.
I've sorted a load of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. We'll speak about it more in the current events, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moving parts going on. But no, this has been wicked.
Yeah, I've loved it.
Thank you for coming on.
having me
Yeah.
on.
Up Team
Appreciate
Tysie.
it.
Up Team
Yeah.
Tysie, up Team Story. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. 5 stars on
peace.
Spotify. Peace.